Hello, modern Canadian living enthusiasts. It's that time of year again, and our friends at Apple have released more products. In this video, we'll be going over the iPhone 16 and specifically the iPhone 16 Pro. This is Apple's first phone built specifically with the A18 chip and designed for Apple Intelligence. We chose the Desert Titanium version 256GB model. This phone weighs in at just over 7 ounces, has a 6.3-inch display, Super Retina XDR, and it's an all-screen OLED display. It is splash, water, and dust resistant. The Apple Intelligence is ready to go, but in all honesty, we'll see how that turns out. So let's get started with the iPhone 16 Pro. So let's go ahead and get started with our first power on. First time startups and boots can take a little longer than normal with iPhones and any other devices as it goes through its initial startup process. And once it's ready to go, we'll be presented with that all too familiar hello screen. Once it's loaded, we can swipe up from the bottom and begin our setup journey. Select our language, followed by the country we're in. That's right, we're in Canada. Next up, we have some appearance settings. Default, medium, or large, depending on what size you'd like the icons. We have the quick start option. You can choose the Wi-Fi network, enter the password. Once it's connected, it'll continue forth to the next screen. It'll complete its registration and activation. Once that's done, we will find ourselves on the data and privacy screen. Clicking continue will allow us to move forward. We can begin to set up our iPhone, and we have a couple of options. We can set it up as a parent or guardian. This would be for somebody else. You're going to manage the device on their behalf. Or in our case, we'll be setting it up for ourselves, and we'll select the option as indicated. We have the option to use Face ID, but for the purpose of this video, we will skip that and set up later. Again, for the purposes of this video, we're going to choose a passcode. As you can see, we're putting in a very simple generic passcode. Always recommend, and you'll see it talked about in our upcoming videos on networking and data privacy, choose hard passcodes, passwords. Don't give them out. Keep them private. Keep them confidential. Your information is stored behind them. Once that's done, we have the options to transfer our apps. We can migrate information from the Apple account. We also have the option to link multiple accounts. You can use another device to sign in. You have the option to restore a backup from iCloud. You have the option to use your Apple account. Or in our case, you can set up later and not use an Apple account. The iPhone 16 Pro comes loaded with iOS 18 and will need to update once it's begun. iMessage and FaceTime, we can select Not Now or Continue, and we're presented with location services. Once location is complete, we have the set up our cellular options. We have our screen time options. Again, the iPhone analytics. For the brightness of the display, we have light, dark, or automatic, which will switch back and forth between the two depending on the time of day. We have a mute option button or a silent option button located right above the volume buttons on the left-hand side of the phone. We have the action button, also known as the camera button, which will activate your camera by a press and hold and allow you to zoom in and out while taking pictures or videos. Then we see our friend Siri's setup options, and we're presented with options to select their voice. And that works for you, as there are a few options in the list. Once that is set up, you will have the option to approve Siri and the dictation. We will opt out of that, followed by the emergency SOS screen, which is now part of the iPhone package. It is also done on many other phone services and works alongside the carrier services to help keep us all safe in the event of an emergency. And lastly, we see the Welcome to iPhone screen. We can then swipe up and we find ourselves on the iPhone home screen with the basic apps installed in the layout and configured, ready for first-time use. Nice new phone, and we'll do some testing to see how it holds up, especially with the action button, see what we can customize and assign to that. And we'll have some updates on how Apple Intelligence